Hi, my name is Shayla, and I will be going over the 5 conditions that are included in a functional analysis of behavior. First off, what is a functional analysis? Why do BCBAs perform them, or what information do they give us? BCBAs will likely perform a functional analysis of behavior when they are trying to find the function or the cause of a problem behavior. When we know why a problem behavior is occurring, we can create the best intervention possible for the learner. So the functions are as follows: attention, escape, alone, or automatic or sensory. Sometimes some BCBAs say that these can occur simultaneously. The next function is tangible, and then play. So I'm going to be providing basically a step-by-step overview on how to implement a functional analysis procedure. I have lined up the definition, or I guess the reason as to why the condition is important, and then the steps to take underneath. So first up is attention. Attention should be given to a learner in the form of a social reprimand, eye contact, facial expressions, closer proximity to learner. So what I mean by this is that if the learner and the examiner are in the same room, maybe the learner is in one corner of the room and then the examiner is in the other corner of the room. When a problem behavior occurs, just walking up to them is a signal of attention to the learner. So that's what I mean by closer proximity. So basically the implementation, I have step by step here, so I'll be going over it. So step 1, learner and examiner are in the same room. Step 2, learner is told to go play in the same room. Step 3, learner engages in problem behavior and is told don't do that by examiner. So here they are giving reprimand, or they are giving a response to that behavior. And then as a result, we should see the problem behavior occur more since it was effective on soliciting attention from the examiner. So if the problem behavior is crying in order to get attention, as soon as the crying starts, the examiner would say, "What's wrong?" They would come up to the learner and say, "Are you okay? How are you feeling?" So the learner has now learned that crying is a way to gain attention from the examiner. So this is kind of an overview on the procedure on how to implement a functional analysis of attention. The next one is escape. The learner should be allowed a break or to leave the task at hand when problem behavior begins. This can also look like removal of demands as soon as problem behavior begins, paired with "you don't have to" or a similar phrase. So basically, you could be with a learner sitting at a table doing a matching program. You could be given the SD match, and the problem behavior could be throwing the cards on the floor. As soon as that problem behavior begins, you say, "You don't have to do it, it's okay." The learner has now learned that all it takes is throwing the cards on the floor for the task to be removed. So here we go on to the implementation. So step 1, learner is ready to begin a task. Examiner gives SD to produce response from learner. Examiner repeats SD multiple times with prompts with no response from the learner. So that may look like, a different example. You're doing imitation. Do this, no response. Do this, no response. Do this, no response. And then finally, learner engages in problem behavior, which could be yelling, throwing, screaming, whatever the problem behavior may be, examiner says, you don't have to do it then. So the result is you're seeing the problem behavior more often when the learner is presented with the same SD, because they have learned that the problem behavior allows them to escape, or the problem behavior removes the task at hand. Okay. Okay, so this is tangible. The learner should be given access to tangible when engaging in problem behavior. So I guess a short example could be you have a Barbie doll at hand. The learner sees that you have that Barbie doll. That Barbie doll is highly preferred item to that learner. The learner starts engaging in throwing behavior. Could be throwing, could be screaming, could be hitting, could be, any problem behavior. You would give the Barbie doll to the learner. The learner has now learned that that problem behavior is effective for gaining access to that tangible. So implementation here, a more brief description would be: step 1, learner and examiner are in room with highly preferred items for learner. Step 2, examiner places highly preferred items in a box and leaves less preferred items out for learner to play with. Step 3, learner engages in problem behavior. Step 4, examiner gives learner highly preferred item. And again, describing here that we should see the problem behavior begin when denied access to preferred item and a spike in that problem behavior. This is the alone condition. In the alone condition, the learner would be left alone to see if a behavior is maintained by automatic reinforcement. If the problem behavior begins or increases, the problem behavior is likely maintained by sensory or automatic reinforcement. So here what we are looking at is being left alone increasing the problem behavior? So alone would be the function of a behavior. So let's say, for example, I'm in a room with a learner and I am not giving any attention to them at any point of the session, or of the, I would say, any point of the data collection timing. So then the learner would engage in, if the learner engages in problem behavior, then I know that this behavior is maintained by sensory automatic reinforcement, so being alone. So the implementation here, the learner and examiner are in the same room. There are little to no stimuli in the environment. Examiner is still in a room but not giving any attention to learner. Learner begins problem behavior due to not receiving any attention from the examiner at any point. Again, here, as a result, we can see that the learner, if left alone, will engage in problem behaviors. Okay, last condition here, which is play. Play requires no demands to be placed on the learner. The examiner should provide social reinforcement or praise frequently. I use social reinforcement a little bit loosely. Sometimes we don't know if the praise or the social, the attention is reinforcing or not. So the implementation here, learner and examiner are in the same environment. Examiner presents toys activities to learner. Attention and praise is given to learner for playing. When problem behavior begins, it is ignored or redirected neutrally if dangerous. So all this really means is that you give for example, a ball to a kid. They play with it. You are giving praise. Oh, nice job bouncing the ball. Nice job rolling the ball. That's a really cool red ball you have there. The goal here is to see low rates of the problem behavior because you are providing that praise. You are giving that attention. So as a result here, I note we should see lower rates of problem behavior due to examiner ignoring or neutrally redirecting the problem behavior. So when the problem behavior occurs, say the kid throws, say the learner throws the ball, you are to ignore that behavior, and then give praise when child is engaging appropriately.